Are you an introverted coach or course creator, and you've poured your heart and your soul into learning how to help others, but yet you still feel unseen, unheard, and overlooked online? That sense of invisibility, it doesn't just hurt, but it's also blocking your ability to attract those clients that you know you're meant to serve. And here's what could be happening. You could be buying into some stories that are sabotaging your success. In today's video, I'm going to call out 5 common self-sabotaging stories, things that we've been conditioned to believe. And then I'm going to help you reframe them and replace them with stories that are way more powerful. So you'll have to let me know if any of these stories have been living in your brain rent-free. And be sure to stick around till the end, because stories 4 and 5, they're kind of like identical cousins. Do you remember the old Patty Duke show? Yes, I'm aging myself. They're kind of the same, and yet they're also very different. Hey there, if we haven't met yet, I'm Donna. I'm a semi-retired nomad, and I had a client list coaching practice for more than 20 years. Then in July of 2024, I discovered an online program that helped me identify these self-sabotaging stories that I'm sharing in this video. So if you feel called to serve as an online coach, a healer, a course creator, but you keep hitting a wall when it comes to attracting client leads and enrolling clients, I know this sounds harsh, but the problem probably is you. But it's not you in the way that you might be thinking. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because you bought into these stories that you have to become someone specific to succeed. And so we're going to challenge those stories right here, right now. The first self-sabotaging story, that's really hard to say, is I'm not good at marketing. And this one sounds so mainstream, doesn't it? It's what pretty much every coach, healer, or course creator has said to me. I'm just not good at marketing. And people say this using so many different tones of voice too, right? Sometimes they sound like a victim. I'm not good at marketing. Or then they'll switch to their higher calling and they'll act like, oh, I'm not good at marketing, because they're unworthy of that lowly role of marketer. And other times they just throw their hands up in the air. I'm not good at marketing. And I've said it too, more times than I can count. Have you said it many times before? But here's the thing, it's a sneaky excuse that keeps us from showing up fully for our business. And let's be honest, the pressure to be everywhere and do everything, it's overwhelming. It's exhausting. And energetically, I was never able to keep up with it. But here's what I've noticed. When we lump all of those marketing strategies into like a shopping cart, it becomes an all or nothing thing. You either have to take everything that's in the shopping cart or you go without. But there are so many different ways to market your services. So you don't have to do all of them, and you certainly can't expect to be good at all of them, especially when you're first starting. Because after all, your primary focus, you came here to serve clients, right? And I've heard so many people say, I've said it myself, if only someone would bring me the clients. But marketing is part of our business. So instead of declaring yourself bad at marketing, I want you to focus on what you're good at. Do you love writing? Do you love talking to people one-on-one? Do you love telling stories? Your marketing content, it can all be built around things that you do well, things you enjoy doing. So saying I'm not good at marketing is like saying I'm not good at breathing underwater. You weren't meant to master everything. You were just meant to find the tools that will help you succeed. So let's reframe, I'm not good at marketing. How about I'm learning new marketing skills that align with my values, my audience, and my mission. How's that feel? Let me know in the comments. Try that one on. And that program I mentioned earlier, one thing I love about it is that I've been able to play with and practice and experiment with using different social platforms and different content types. And for me, I discovered that YouTube's long-form content is my preference. And I wouldn't have realized this without the Legacy Builders program. I would have just continued thinking, oh, I suck at marketing. And that one sentence, I'm learning new marketing skills that align with my values, my audience, and my mission, that can shift how you show up. It will encourage and invite you to show up. And Legacy Builders, I've always thought of it more like an internship or a playground. And when you shift how you show up, it gives you the time and the emotional and mental mind space to see how potential clients respond to you and your message and make adjustments. Most importantly, of course, is making sure that you feel aligned with your message. The second self-sabotaging story is, I'm not attractive enough. Yes, I said it. In this world of body positivity and declarations of loving who we are, warts and wrinkles and nose rings, oh my, for many of us, our insecurities around our physical appearance, they run deep. We don't talk about them because we're supposed to love ourselves unconditionally. And yes, I agree with that. And I also have many days when I feel self-conscious about my droopy eyelids, my crooked face, and my double chin. Have you ever delayed turning on the camera or deleted videos because you didn't like the way you looked or how you sounded? It's times like those when it's really easy to say, I'm just not good at marketing. But it's not marketing that you're avoiding. It's the fear of being seen for who you really are, which is a beautiful, kind, loving person. And people need to see that, because there's one thing that I know about you. It's that there's this little voice inside of you. Kind of speaks from here, doesn't it? That's saying, even though I'm not good at marketing, I still want to do this. Even though I'm not attractive, I still want to do this. And sometimes you can outfox this story by using filters, by playing with your best angles, and using other tricks to improve your appearance. But here's what I invite you to remember. Most of the people we admire most aren't conventionally beautiful. They're captivating. Maybe it's their laugh. Maybe it's the sparkle in their eyes. Maybe it's their energy. Whatever it is, it's not about flawless skin or a perfect smile. People are drawn to authenticity, that something that you feel inside about them, that sense of purpose, their heart, their wisdom. And that's what magnetizes people to each other. So here's your reframe for this story about I'm not attractive enough. When I came into physical form, I chose this body, this appearance, because it supports my purpose-centered business. So let your purpose lead, and your presence, it will follow. The third self-sabotaging story is I am not tech-savvy enough. Ah, yes, the classic tech love-hate story. Yes, tech can feel overwhelming, especially when it's constantly changing. But resisting it just makes it harder. And if you're a Star Trek fan like I am, you'll appreciate this. Resistance is futile, especially when YouTube can teach you everything you need to know for free, at your pace, in your pajamas. And although I was on the other end of that love-hate, tech-savvy spectrum, I know so many online coaches and course creators who avoid learning any new tech. But when you release the pressure and you realize that support is available, the tech doesn't feel quite so hard. And it's certainly not so hard, especially once you reframe this belief, this story. It's not so hard that it should completely derail your coaching mission. Because the good thing is, you don't have to learn everything. And what you do learn, it doesn't have to be learned all at once. You only need to focus on the tech that supports your mission right now, today. So you start with the basics, and then if you choose, if your mission calls for it, you move up from there. And just so you know, if you're interested in growing a YouTube channel but it still feels overwhelming, I put together a list of 5 creators whose channels have helped me the most. Just type mentors in the comments and I'll send you the link. This I'm not tech savvy enough story is one of the best reasons to take a look at the Legacy Builders program. It provides you with a ready-made automated business in a box. That means you don't even have to figure out which tech to use. There's no tech stack overwhelming. What do you put together and what goes where? All you do is follow the steps. You plug it in and you start learning social media marketing skills using real tools and promoting real online courses as products. This is an opportunity to use this as an internship. It's not a long-term commitment unless you choose for it, but you're learning new skills. So let's reframe this I'm not tech savvy enough story into something that will help you flow more smoothly in the online world. I don't need to understand everything about the tech to use it effectively. I only need to work with tools that support my business mission. How's that one feel? Does it feel good? I hope so. Self-sabotaging story number 4. I'm not popular enough. This one hurts because it taps into that primal need to belong. But keep watching, because in just a minute I'm going to introduce you to the I'm not popular enough's identical cousin. So we think if we don't already have a lot of friends or followers, how am I supposed to get them? I'm not popular enough. But think about it this way. What if not being popular is actually a superpower? You're not broadcasting noise. You're sending a clear signal to the people who are ready to receive it. So I think of popularity more as a quantity metric, but impact, that's a quality metric. Now, I don't feel like I'm here to serve the masses. I'm here to serve the right people, the ones who feel called to serve as quiet, confident leaders, the ones who embrace their introverted nature and make no apologies for it. I believe our world could use a little bit more silence and a lot less noise. So let me ask you, do you feel like you need 1 million people to watch your content? Is celebrity your driving force? Now, don't get me wrong, it's okay if it is. And shutting down this story about your current state of popularity, it's the only way you're going to be able to achieve that level of recognition. But if you're only looking to work with a handful of people at a time, people who see and get you for what you have to offer and how you can help them, can you see that at whichever end of the spectrum you fall, you have to reframe that story that you're not popular enough. So let me know how this reframe, how it suits you. Let me know in the comments. Let's try this one on. When I show up as my true self, the people I came to serve will easily follow me. What do you think? Okay, the 5th and final self-sabotaging story today is I'm not outgoing enough. And this one might be my personal favorite to dismantle because it is the identical cousin to I'm not popular enough. And both of these, they really managed to impact my life a lot. Now let's look at the word outgoing. It's one of those vague words and we throw it around like it's a qualification. But what does it really mean? Does that mean you have to talk loudly? Do you have to be the life of the party? Do you have to be naturally comfortable on camera? Nope, nope, nope. Outgoing is more like a social skill. And social skills are just that, they're skills. And skills can be learned. And if you've ever turned down an invitation or left an event early because you felt socially awkward and out of place, you're not broken. You're just wired differently. And that's not a flaw. In fact, it can be an asset. Let me share a quick story. Many years ago, I was a loaned executive for the United Way. And one of the expectations was that we needed to attend a fancy fundraising event. Now, the who's who of the community would be there. All of these people with a lot of money to contribute. I was terrified. Not just because I was socially awkward, but because I worked in a factory on night shift. Who was I to rub elbows with these types of people? But what I did to handle this stressful, awkward situation was I made 2 commitments to myself. The first was that I would only need to stay for 30 minutes. It was kind of a check in, check out, right? Have you ever done that? Just show that you're there and then leave. And then the second goal was to not cling around the snack table or with the other loaned executives, to actually talk with some of the people we were honoring. And guess what happened? I ended up having some really decent conversations with some of the wealthiest and the most influential people in the community. And I found out they were actually pretty cool people. And even better, unexpected, the next week at the debrief meeting at the United Way, I was complimented on my social skills. What? Me? The socially awkward one? So that was pretty amazing. So let's reframe this I'm not outgoing enough story to something that supports you as you begin marketing your online coaching or course creation business. Okay, you ready for this one? How's this sound? Marketing skills can be learned. If I show up on one social platform, even just a little bit at a time, I can transition from feeling awkward to uncomfortable to confident to comfortable. Okay, maybe comfortable is pushing it, but confident is definitely doable. When it comes to marketing your online coaching business on social media, every post is not meant to go viral, and marketing does not require you to dance on reels. Some of us, we prefer to grow based on depth instead of volume, and that's still marketing. So which of these 5 stories have been living rent-free in your house? I'm not good at marketing. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not tech savvy. I'm not popular enough. Or I'm not outgoing enough. These stories, they're not facts. They're old thoughts, and thoughts can change. So today I invite you, actually I encourage and I challenge you to pick one of these 5 stories and reframe it using the language that I shared, and then write it down. Say it out loud. Better yet, type your new story in the comments so it starts to feel real to you. And then instead of avoiding, delaying, or deleting a piece of content that could attract your ideal client, put your new thoughts into action. Do one small marketing activity from the perspective of that new story. Whether it's brainstorming content ideas, recording a short video, or posting the one that you are going to delete. And yes, you can always go back and hide it or unlist it later. But doing something small, getting started, putting yourself out there, showing up online, that's how you'll grow into the online coach that you came here to be. Bit by brave bit. When you shift your inner story, your outer visibility will naturally follow. And when you're willing to be seen, even just a little bit at a time, your people will start to find you. Not because you're shouting the loudest, but because you're showing up with clarity, heart, and purpose. If using social media to attract those clients who are waiting for you still feels uncomfortable, overwhelming, or just plain confusing, I created a free mini guide to help you master the marketing side of success. You'll learn 6 simple steps to clarify your message, connect with your audience, and start growing your online presence. Not by doing all of the things, but by discovering the marketing style that feels the least intimidating and the most aligned for you. Because there is a marketing style that fits you perfectly. The link for that is in the description. And if you want that list of my favorite YouTube channel mentors, type mentors in the comments and I'll get that link to you. Remember, the stories you tell yourself shape the life you live and the business that you want to build. And you, my friend, are more capable, more creative, and more ready than you're giving yourself enough credit for. Your path to success, it might be a quieter, slower, or more winding path than you'd like. But don't stop. Your path is valid, it's powerful, and it's your path to walk. Someone out there is waiting to hear your voice so that you can help them find theirs.